Well, 14 of you little psychopaths subscribed to the channel the last time I made a devlog, so how about we do something special this time around? So hello, and a very welcome back to the channel, and to my game, Shannon Cove, my fun, cozy little dark horror. I wanted to start this one off a little differently, and show some gratitude, because the last devlog I did actually seeing quite a positive return. And what better way to show that off in a game about murder than to put you all in it and murder you individually. Although you'll see here in the end, the only survivor was Yan Daddy. That wasn't by choice, he was just the last person left alive, so I decided to leave him to it. But with that out of the way, let's get on with the video. So Shannon Cove has been undergoing some changes since the last update, and I want to show off some of the graphics that I've been working on. I think I'll finally kind of nail down the art style that I want to go for. I'm going to show a little bit of side by side now of what it used to look like. But I think this is the new building style that I'm going to keep going forward. As you can see, I made the general store kind of look similar here, and I think overall it's just a much stronger look. As well, I've started to kind of work through the dock area that I wanted to create, trying to give it more of that kind of seaside look, the colored cobblestones, the railings, and of course the docking area itself. So I'm trying to go for that kind of cozy look, cozy aesthetic feel that you get in all these kind of games. Because once I can kind of master that art style, then it just means that the kind of darker themes of the story will be more impactful. So once all these guys leave, the next thing I want to show off is... So I want to show off the inventory system that I've been working on. So I've just got a couple of pieces that I can use here just to show it off. So you can see that the UI altogether got a brand new facelift. I still need to go through and change some of the font to more pixel art font. But right now this is how it looks. So you can see down the bottom here, we've just got 6 inventory tabs. If I pick one of these up, you can see it starts to populate the inventory, and if I hover over, you get the name and then a little description of what the item is. I'm going to pick up more of these items. So now that I've picked up a few more of these bits, you can see that the wheat are stacked to 5, and then once they fill up, it'll continue on to the next stack. Another feature of the inventory is to be able to drop things out, and once you drop them out, they will stay in the stack amounts. You can also split stack with right click. You can also rejoin stacks, and if you shift left click, you can remove single items from the stack. Now there. Now, with all of them taken care of, that is it pretty much for the inventory system right now. We can see in the top left, we have our health bar. The heart is made to look like a little devil. On the right, we've got our days, including the day of the week and what time it is. Currently, the day of the week doesn't update yet. I haven't set that up. And then, of course, the inventory with your tooltips. So next thing I want to show off is the crafting system. A big part of this game is going to be the ability to create pies through various means. So I'm going to show off a little bit of early development of that. Obviously, because this is still fairly brand new and I'm still working on the system, none of the graphics are finalized and none of the mechanics are really fully fleshed out. But what I have got working so far is the ability to drop items into the crafting areas and then to pump out a result. So in this case, 2 wheat plus meat equals human flesh pie. So you'll see if we put other items already in the crafting menu, so we can't put that in. But if I try putting another wheat in there, you'll see it won't pump out anything because there is no recipe for this. So if I just take that out, that'll consume the items in my inventory. I'll get a brand new pie and the inventory menu will reset. And then I can just drag these in and you can right click to remove. If I walk away, it will close. I can also press the action button to open and close it. And I can press escape as well. So it's all still very in its infancy and the items don't necessarily do anything right now, but just getting the crafting ability set up. What the? I heard Bonnie. But yeah, just getting the crafting abilities set up right now is kind of the more important thing. And once I have that all set up, I can start to flesh it out more. So back over in Unity, let's take a look at how the crafting system works. If we go into the pie shop here and click on one of these items, you can see that each one has a pickup resource with an amount of how many it is. It will pull the floating text. That's what makes the text come up when you click an item. And its data source. So when you click on its data, you can see here, it's just a scriptable object. It tells you what the stack quantity is, whether or not it's stackable, and what the description for the item is. So it'll tell you the name and then give you a icon for the image. These have also been turned into prefabs, with this one here being the actual dropped prefab when you remove things from your inventory. Onto the crafting manager itself, if we have a look at the game manager here, got the crafting manager. This is where I input recipes. They're incredibly simple to set up, and this is where the input slots are on the crafting menu. So if we click on one of these recipes right now, you can see here that the recipes are fairly simple to set up. So to make a human meat pie, you just need 1 of the meat resource and 2 of the wheat resource. Clicking into these come back to the resource items that I was talking about earlier. So if we come back over to Sprite here then for the bakery items that I've been setting up, we're going to actually set up one of these right now. Reminder, I am not a pixel artist. I am still learning, so bear with me. Okay, I think that's probably as good as I'm going to get it right now. On this video, I'll come back and probably change this later. But for now, we're going to use this. This is going to be a bag of flour. Going back into Unity then, next thing we want to do is actually set that up. It's going to duplicate the wheat here. We're going to call this bag of flour. Let's stack to 2. Silly little description. Change the name and change the icon on the wheat. Now we're going to create a new prefab for this item. And just like that, we have our bag of flour. Probably a bit large, but again, I'll come back and change this later. So now setting up a new recipe is incredibly simple. So we're just going to duplicate this. We're just going to say bag of flour. So in here then, we're going to change it so it is 3 wheat. Get rid of this item. And the result is going to be bag of flour. Then on our human meat pies, instead of being 2 wheat, we're going to say 1 bag of flour. And then finally, just on the manager itself, we will create a new item for bag of flour. Going back to our meat shop, if we pick up our supplies over to our crafting bench, drop in 5, you can see we get 1 bag of flour. Let's get 2 here. And then if we just drop in a bag of flour and our meat, we'll get our meat pie. So you can see there, fair, the entire process is quite scalable. It's going to take a bit of work to obviously create the assets for this, but otherwise I think it all works pretty well. Again, hovering over this, you can see this can be used to make pies, and then you hover over the pie itself. What have I created? It's just a silly little way of just creating a little bit of atmosphere, a little bit of character in the game. But I do believe that is everything that I have to show off, unfortunately. I don't have that much more. Setting up these systems to take up a lot of time, other than obviously redesigning some of the map area here. I have not got much else to show you. So I'm going to call it there. If you enjoyed the video, or if you like the look of this game, please do consider subscribing. It massively helps me out. And hopefully I'll be back soon with another update and a lot more to show off. But until then, thank you so much for watching. And don't forget, you little psychopaths, make sure to subscribe if you want to be murdered in the game. Thanks so much for watching.